matter of seconds, they rip open the earth, swallowing up people and lives without warning. They are one of the most feared natural disasters, and there's no way to predict them. They've killed more than 2 million in the last century alone. If only humankind could find a way to predict such a catastrophe, millions might be saved. There are some people, both academics and amateurs, who think they can. Mired in controversy, sometimes downright bizarre, these are the people who chase earthquakes. In the southern Indian city of Chennai, quake watchers, Drs. Venkatnathan and Rao, are about to stake their professional reputations by trying to predict an earthquake at a given time and place, then turning up to see if it happens. Also known as the Tremor Team, Dr. Rao is a senior lecturer in the Department of Applied Geology in the University of Madras, and Venkatnathan, a researcher. The Tremor Team has been studying the science of earthquake prediction for the last 3 years and claims to have achieved a success rate of 85%.
According to our theory, there's a huge possibility of an imminent earthquake in the state of Himachal Pradesh.
If Venkat and Rao are to be believed, then an earthquake measuring between 6 to 6.5 on the Richter scale is likely to hit the northern Indian state of Himachal Pradesh in the next 4 days. Venkat and Rao have not only made a prediction, but are also traveling to the epicenter. They intend to be present with a ringside view when their predicted quake strikes. The earthquake is due to hit the Himalayas in about 72 hours. The Himalayas form the Earth's highest mountain chain and extend along the northern frontiers of Pakistan, India, Nepal, and Bhutan. These mountains were themselves created by an unimaginably massive series of quakes. "250 million years ago, the planet Earth looked very different with only one supercontinent, Pangaea. Then, a piece broke off and began to move across what we now know as the Indian Ocean. 200 million years later, there is a head-on collision of the two tectonic plates. The Earth shudders violently, and over the next 50 million years, the land buckles and rises so dramatically that the world's tallest mountain range, the Himalayas, is created, holding the world's 14 tallest peaks. The region is seismically sensitive, and a powerful earthquake occurring here could create havoc in New Delhi, India's national capital, a couple of 100 kilometers away. With a population of over 14 million people, Delhi is the world's 10th largest city. Unfortunately, even though it lies amongst the country's second most seismically vulnerable zones, only 1 in 10 of Delhi's buildings has been built to withstand a strong quake. Back on the road, the Tremor team is busy with last-minute calculations.
That is exactly 33 kilometers south-southeast of Kulu. So, probable magnitude might be around 6 to 6.5 on Richter scale.
Their prediction theory is based on laws of gravity. Each celestial body, be it sun, planet, or moon, exerts a force of gravity, which pulls at other celestial bodies. The Tremor team's theory is that when two or more celestial bodies, in this case Mars and the Moon, line up with the Earth in a straight line, this tugging effect changes, and when the Earth's crust is weak along fault lines, is powerful enough to move the tectonic plates, causing earthquakes. The Tremor team is able to pin down the exact epicenter of the earthquake by locating the point where the distance between the Earth and celestial body is minimum. They then study the geological condition of the area surrounding this point for possible weaknesses along fault lines that might be ready to rupture. Based on this, they've identified the epicenter to lie in the seismically sensitive region of Himachal Pradesh. But their theory doesn't have the support of scientists like Dr. Thomas Jordan of the Southern California Earthquake Center.
Some people suggest that the alignment of the planets may affect tectonic activity, in particular may initiate earthquakes. But to our knowledge, these effects are too small to really make much of a difference in terms of very large earthquakes.
It's about 50 hours to the window within which planetary alignment will make a quake likely, say the Tremor team. Venkat prays for the success of his mission. En route again, Rao and Venkat Nathan stop their journey. An illustrated wall tells the story of a terrible earthquake 100 years earlier.
We are now at a place just about 4 kilometers from Mandi town in the state of Himachal Pradesh, North India. What we see here is some graffiti on the walls, and from what it says, it is very, very clear that this region is absolutely no stranger to earthquakes.
In fact, in 1905, more than 20,000 people died here when the neighboring district of Kangra was convulsed by a quake. It hit about 8 on the Richter scale. The Tremor team now approaches the administrative boss of the area they believe is under threat.
We feel very strongly that there's a possibility of an earthquake on maybe from about 72 hours from now. We have been giving predictions for different places. Okay. So we thought that we should inform you so that the information given by us regarding the impending quake, if it occurs, we feel that our information should reach you first.
The SDM, subdivisional magistrate, listens with undisguised disbelief.
But how can you pinpoint this is the area?
Yes, sir. Actually, the planet is very close to the Earth at one particular point only. From that point, every 600 kilometers, there is a possibility of triggering of earthquake.
So far, we have achieved around 80 to 90% success rate.
The SDM refuses to issue a warning to the population.
I can't scare the people. You come out of your houses, it will then make a big chaos then.
Above the Earth, the planets move inexorably into the alignment that the Tremor team believes will trigger an earthquake. California, standing alone, is the world's 6th largest economy and holds some of the United States' biggest cities. California is also the roller coaster of the world. Underneath the land of dreams lurks a nightmare. The San Andreas Fault. It runs across the state for 1,000 kilometers and has been responsible for some of the region's worst quakes. Dr. Thomas Jordan The director of the Southern California Earthquake Center believes that the San Andreas fault line could be responsible for California's next major quake.
We don't exactly know where the next big one is going to occur, but the suspicion is the next really big earthquake will occur on the San Andreas Fault. This is the major fault of the plate boundary, and most of the very large earthquakes occur on this fault.
On April 18, 1906, the San Andreas Fault ruptured. A powerful quake measuring 7.8 on the Richter scale shattered San Francisco. One of the worst natural disasters in U.S. history, the quake and the resulting fires left hundreds dead and thousands homeless. San Francisco was razed to the ground. Over the years, the city was rebuilt, and it grew to become the second most densely populated city in the United States. On October 17, 1989, the San Andreas Fault quivered again. This time, a quake measuring 6.9 on the Richter scale brought California to its knees.